doomed to shop till we drop. Two-thirds of our economy is based on consumption, which leads to a rather petrifying paradox. If we cut back on consumption, which obviously is good for the environment, it's good for a number of things, the US economy collapses. In a sense, we've built an economy that needs rampant consumerism as a fuel just to keep the engine going.
It's always Christmas time for Visa. MasterCard gets presents every day. They're happy as can be when we discover 'neath our tree the finance charge that never goes away.
As of Christmas 2005, the national debt stood at $8,179,165,267,626.42. Break that down, and each American share comes to $27,439.48, and that's per person.
I'm going to be screwed. I don't like that at all.
This debt increases on average $2.83 billion per day.
The payments that we're making are the gift that keeps on taking and leaves us buried deeper every year.
As the national debt threatens to rise to $10 trillion, a new national debt clock is being built.
I know nothing about it.
I know absolutely nothing except for it's just making my family even more poor.
Debt is a symptom of much larger economic and structural issues facing households. One, we've seen a decline in incomes or a stagnation of incomes, particularly in the lower income household range and also for middle income households. At the same time, costs have really skyrocketed. Healthcare, housing costs, the cost of sending a kid to college. And finally, we've got to look at public policy and what has happened. And what we see is a real retrenchment in terms of providing a safety net for households.
How did it happen? How did we go from being a nation that made things to a nation that buys things? How and why has the economy become reorganized around the means of consumption instead of the means of production? When did the mall replace the factory as America's economic engine?
People have difficulty realizing that the new economic conflict in our society is between creditors and debtors. There's still a tendency of many left-wingers to think in terms of the class war, and the war is between employers and employees. But the real economic war, where all the money is being made, is between creditors and debtors, because that's a free lunch.
Credit and debt are transforming our industrial economy into one based on financial services and service providers. As the gap between the haves and the have-nots deepens, having property is often considered the only way to build wealth.